Yo, what's good, Marvin Garden enthusiasts? So look, bro, Happy New Year's. I know it's the second. I'm late, bro, but listen. I didn't really have a final video for 2022, and I'm sorry about that, bro. I've been lazy. I've been lacking. But listen, I'm going to try and get back on track. But, look, today we have the most disappointing NFL teams in 2022. So, man, what are some teams that come up to the top of the list, bro? The Colts for sure, man. Like, the Colts definitely need to fire Jeff Saturday at the end of the season. What else are some disappointing teams? The Raiders for sure, bro. I thought they were gonna be like an AFC Championship team at the beginning of the season, especially because they got Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones in the what's it called, off season, bro. So yeah, man. Let's check it out.
Every year in the NFL, each of the 32 teams have some sort of expectations, and basically, their performances range from three different categories.
How do y'all feel about the Cowboys this year?
Better than expected, do about as well as we thought, or worst of all, disappoint, breaking the will of the most die-hard fans.
The Steelers are actually doing okay.
Doesn't automatically qualify a team as a disappointment. For example, the Bears are one of the worst teams in the NFL, but nobody expected them to be a playoff team in the first place. They traded away a bunch of star talent for future draft picks.
Roquan Smith.
And Justin Fields has made promising steps.
Yeah, they need to get Fields some receivers,
so,
man.
To be clear,
and an offensive line.
Expectations must be great, like coming off a Super Bowl victory and having top 5 Super Bowl odds, only to completely collapse with little hope for the future.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened to the Rams.
Off the deflection, it's one of those safeties. The Buffalo Bills make a massive statement in the kickoff game.
I was watching it. Bro, I live streamed that game.
The Rams offense has gone from 7th in scoring to 26th. So why did this team fall off so badly? Of course, the injuries have played a critical role, with guys like Stafford, Kupp, and Donald all missing time. But the biggest issue by far, at least offensively, has been the revolving door of linemen.
Yeah,
the Rams
bro.
became the first team in the Super Bowl era to use a different starting 5 on the line in each of their first 9 games.
Damn.
And this is on top of an already patched up unit that lost standout tackle Andrew Whitworth to retirement after the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford statistically has seen a huge regression. Their offense was almost entirely dependent on Cooper Kupp.
Bro, to be honest, I fuck with Stafford heavy, bro, and I congratulated him on the Super Bowl and whatnot. But listen, bro, this dude needs to retire, man. Like, he's gonna hurt his legacy if he doesn't, because the Rams, they're just gonna keep digressing and digressing. I don't know if the Rams are gonna keep Stafford. I don't know what's gonna happen with Stafford, but I think bro should retire, because he's been playing since when? 2009, man? Like, that's a long time, bro. But I don't know. That's my opinion, bro, because he didn't look too good this season. And I know the offensive line is bad, but I don't know.
Was brutal. Without a dominant edge rusher aside Aaron Donald, this unit has been average in the pass game. And Jalen Ramsey's less-than-himself performance this year caused him to miss the Pro Bowl for the first time since his rookie season.
He missed the Pro Bowl? Jalen, what the fuck?
Remaining, 15 seconds.
I did not know that shit.
Flings it left side end zone. Caught! Caught by Van Jefferson.
Raiders, how do you lose that?
Remaining.
Here's a question. With Stafford's spinal injury and age, who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Rams in 2022?
Might be, y'all might have to work around Mayfield,
now, before
bro.
We continue, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek takes tickets from all across the web and puts them into one area, making buying simple.
Okay.
According to Pro Football Reference, before the 2022 season began, only 3 teams had better chances of winning the Super Bowl than the Rams. 2 of them looked like serious contenders, while the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't belong anywhere close to the Bills and Chiefs. And currently, they're just fighting to be above 500. Starting out the season, things looked bright. The Bucs jumped out to a 2-0 start.
Bro, how the fuck did we lose to the Buccaneers, man? Bro, I don't want, like, listen, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I do not want the number 1 seed, bro. Eagles, take it, bro. Take the fucking number 1 seed. I want the Bucs. I want the Bucs in the wild card round, bro. I don't want anybody else, dude. Take the number 1 seed, bro. Please. I beg of you. Like, bro, I don't want it. And I know Cowboy fans are going to be like, telling me shit in the comments, but I don't give a fuck, bro. I want to face Brady before he retires, dude. I need that game, and I need the Cowboys to win. At least that. I don't even give a fuck if they don't win the Super Bowl, bro. I just want them to beat the damn Buccaneers. That's all I want.
Things fell apart rather quickly. They lost 5 of 6, and this offense looks like one of the worst in football. As of now, they stand at 28th in scoring, which is a seismic dip from 2021. If it weren't for their solid defense, this team would be...
Damn, they were pretty good last year.
So, how did they fall off so badly offensively? First off, coaching makes a big difference, and with Bruce Arians stepping away from the sidelines, has surely made an impact.
They fell off.
But the biggest
without
issue
Bruce
has been the
Arians.
offensive line. It's become evident that the loss of key interior personnel has crushed this team's ability to run. In
Same problem with the
2021,
Buccaneers that it is with the
possessed
Rams.
3 Pro Bowlers on the O-line. Ali Marpet surprisingly retired at age 28, and Ryan Jensen tore his ACL in training camp. So take away 2 Pro Bowlers and throw in a bunch of injuries, and what you get is the worst rush offense in the NFL, which consequently has negatively affected the pass game. Brady has often looked out of rhythm because of this. It's also
Tom,
clear
what the
that
fuck
without
was
Gronk,
that?
who excelled as both a pass catcher and a blocker, this offense lacks any sort of punch. And the team as a whole looks flat on a consistent basis. Who knew the day would come where a matchup featuring Brady and Rodgers would produce a lackluster 14-12 final score? Speaking of Green Bay, in the recent history of the NFC North, the
Aaron
Packers
Rodgers,
have
man,
mostly
a
reigned
legend.
supreme, winning 8 division titles since 2011, including the last 3. But this year,
The Packers
they
are still
currently
in
sit
it.
tied with Detroit in a race for second, which is crazy considering the Packers were supposed to be near the top of the NFC, and the Lions were supposed to finish near the bottom. What exactly
I love
is happening to the
I
Packers?
love Aaron Rodgers, man, but I think everyone's gonna be rooting for Detroit, man.
Since Matt LaFleur took over in 2019, here's basically what the team has looked like. The defense has ranged from above average to average, with their weakest season coming in 2022. And offensively, what made them elite in the past
How do
was
you have all
the
these winning
production
records and then
with
blow it
a
in the
lack of
fucking NFC
turnovers.
Championship?
But that all changed this season, with Aaron Rodgers throwing double-digit interceptions for the first time since 2010. It was always known that once Devontae Adams was
That was the year
traded,
they won the Super
this
Bowl.
offense was going to be in a bit of a transition.
Was it
phase.
2011?
But
I-
now
no, it was
it's evident
it was
that
2010.
It was
It was
even
2010.
tougher than expected. Not only is Rodgers not playing well, but the chemistry between Rodgers and these young receivers has been perhaps the biggest obstacle
Actually,
this
bro,
season.
Christian Watson has been becoming a breakout receiver, dude. Like, ever since they played my Dallas Cowboys, Christian Watson's been amazing, bro.
This passage from a fan-sided article tells it best. Quote, "The Packers have been one of the most..."
I don't know why the Packers wouldn't try and get Rodgers like more receivers. You know what I'm saying?
penalized teams in the NFL. Dropped passes along with receivers running the wrong routes and stems.
I think Rodgers
have
should
been
at least
issues
have
as
like
well.
3 rings.
On top of that, there have been missed blocks, and Rodgers has been uncharacteristically inaccurate. And with Rodgers' massive contract that he signed, I can't help but wonder how the Packers are going to climb out of this. Something similar can be said about what's going on in Arizona.
Murray's throwing deep. Robbie Anderson way short and intercepted. Harrison Smith.
Even though the offseason was overshadowed by Kyler Murray's contract situation and all the baggage that came with that, the Cardinals ultimately were able to reach an agreement with them. Entering 2022, Arizona was considered a borderline playoff team, and even though DeAndre Hopkins was suspended for 6 games, the front office brought in a few.
They haven't
pieces
been
to
quite
help
the
their
same
quarterback
since
out,
they got
including
freaking
former Ravens
beat
receiver
by the
Hollywood
Rams
Brown,
last year in the
second-round
playoffs.
tight end Zach McBride, and even a midseason trade for Robbie
they-
Anderson.
Hey, y'all let me know. Are the
This unit
Cardinals gonna fire Cliff Kingsbury? Because I personally think they should, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Just I feel like the Cardinals were really good last year. They're one of like the best teams in the NFC, at least in the regular season. But now they've become horrible. Like, I don't know.
Just very little spark, and Kyler Murray is a major focal point in this. Before his devastating injury, Murray was.
I think
the
Cliff
least
Kingsbury
productive numbers of his
is part of the
career,
problem.
And this offense went from scoring 26
I think
a game in
Arizona
2021
just needs a new
to only
coach.
20 this season. Murray's regression poses concerning questions.
But
for
what
the
do y'all
future.
think?
Is he just an average NFL quarterback when healthy? Some say the blame can be instead placed on the play calling from the coach, Cliff Kingsbury. His teams have consistently been one of the sloppiest in terms of penalties. It hasn't been fixed in years, and his play calling is consistently under scrutiny. They've struggled to do simple things, like getting the right play call in time. But just as much as this offense has struggled, the defense really fell apart.
Got it! They've got the lead! It's the tight end, Jared Everett!
It's clear that the loss of Chandler Jones in free agency has hurt this unit.
Yeah.
They've allowed the third most points of
Bro, that's
any
why I thought
NFL
the
team,
Raiders are going to be
giving
good.
up
They got
5
so
more
much good
points a game
players.
on average compared to last year. So with J.J. Watt's retirement, the potential firing of their coach, and questions about Kyler's ability, the future looks grim. But I guess it could be worse.
Second and 10, quick pass outside, and that is complete. That is Moreau, and Moreau fighting. Loose again. Picked up by the Cardinals.
Raider fans are sick this year, man. Fuck.
I'm sure most teams have gone through gut-wrenching losses this season, but it's tough to say that anyone's had it worse on a consistent basis like the Raiders. Coming into the season, the Raiders had high hopes with first-year coach Josh McDaniels. And after the blockbuster trade that acquired All-Pro Davante Adams, they were projected as a playoff team. But in 2022, this club routinely lost in heartbreaking fashion. Let me give you a quick recap. Week 1, couldn't convert on the final drive. Week 2, Renfrow fumbled in overtime, and it was returned for a touchdown. Week 3, they failed a 2-point conversion to tie with a minute left. Week 5, another failed 2-point to tie, and a 4th down pass with 43 seconds fell incomplete. Week 9.
I still don't think they should have benched Derek Carr, bro. I think that was the stupidest mistake Josh McDaniels could have made. I get that I forgot his name, Stidham or whatever, played good against the Niners. But, dude,
a 13-point lead.
Derek Carr is a Pro Bowl quarterback, man.
Down. Week 10, Morrow drops the game-winning touchdown with less than a minute to go. Week 14, up 16-3 with less than 4 minutes, they blew a lead to a team whose quarterback signed 2 days prior. And finally, before the release of this video, Week 15, they were
bro, y'all lost to the Colts and the Rams
touchdown with 46 seconds to play. You can look at stats with this team and discuss their below-average defense.
Aren't they the only team that lost to Jeff Saturday?
Or their injuries to guys like Waller and Renfrow. But ultimately, failing to win close games really destroyed this team.
Yeah, bro, Jeff Saturday's gone after this season, man.
And removal
He's going to have to get his job back at ESPN.
The future at quarterback for them is up in the air. If Derek Carr's gone, who's next? And where's Derek Carr going to go? There's a few teams looking for somebody to save them. And unfortunately, one of those teams
maybe the Jets
just traded for a veteran.
Ryan steps through and finds...
Yeah, Matt Ryan, bro, you need to retire after this season, bro. Like, you're hurting your career at this point, bro. Like, all these blown leads, man. And I know it's not all Matt Ryan's fault, bro, because obviously the blame could be on the defense and the offense, but we can't just blame Matt Ryan. But Matt Ryan, bro, you need to retire, dude. You need to retire after this season. Like, bro, it's not working out anymore. Your time has come. I'm sorry, man.
For the last 2 years, it appeared as if the Indianapolis Colts were a good quarterback away from being a contender. After possessing a top 10 offense and defense in 2021, they moved on from Carson Wentz and entered the quarterback trade market.
What's his name?
They ended up acquiring former MVP.
What happened to Darius Leonard
in exchange for a 3rd-round pick? Even though Matt Ryan hasn't made a Pro Bowl since the 2016 season.
Yeah, bro, ever since that Super Bowl, bro.
With the top running back in 2020.
That shit will always haunt me, and I'm not even a Falcons fan.
Statistically, lining up next to him and Jonathan
That was bad, bro.
And a stout offensive line with the likes of Quentin Nelson, the Colts were projected to win around.
Did y'all see USC and fucking Tulane today, bro? How much was USC up by? Like 45-8 or some shit? I checked the score and it was 45-8. I was like, nah, bro. Like, that game's over. Because I upload the scoreboards on the Complex Marvin show, which y'all should follow on Instagram. But, bro, I thought that shit was over, but Tulane came back and fucking won. Like, what the fuck? Bro.
To 10 games.
USC, what happened, man?
Problems appeared right away. They ended up tying with the Texans in week 1, who many felt were the worst team.
Y'all
in the
think they
league.
should have kept
And
Frank
then the following
Reich?
week, they dropped a goose egg versus Jacksonville. It didn't get much better from there. In 2022, Matt Ryan has put up some of the worst stats of his career, eventually finding his way to the bench.
Yeah, bro,
Popular
you
number
need to
one
retire
overall
Matt
fantasy
Ryan.
pick, Jonathan
It's
Taylor,
time.
is nowhere near his
I thought the
2021
Colts were actually going to
numbers.
be good
And
with
as a
Matt
whole,
Ryan, but
this
I was
offense
wrong.
ranks 31st in scoring and dead last in turnovers. I sound like a broken record, but a lot of this is due in large part to the struggles with the offensive line. This position group's massive regression
Yeah.
in the run game has been so bad. It's perhaps the biggest reason why the offensive coordinator and the head coach were fired mid-season. Crazy enough, Frank Reich's replacement at head coach was one of the most shocking hires we've ever
Jeff
seen.
Saturday.
Jeff Saturday.
Bro,
a
why was
former
everyone
player
so
with
mad?
No coaching experience beyond high school was given the job. A few weeks later, the Colts would blow a 33-point lead to the Vikings. This is the largest in NFL history.
Jesus.
A true low point in an absolutely forgettable season. To add salt to the wound, this once top 10 defense has fallen off the rails.
Oh,
Partially due to
Leonard's
the fact that
hurt.
their best defensive player, Shaq Leonard, formerly known
Oh,
as
it's not Darius Leonard,
only
it's
played
Shaq
in
Leonard.
3 games before being injured. But hey, at least they only gave up a 3rd rounder for Matt Ryan. The Broncos, on the other hand, are in football hell.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country.
Listen, I don't think it's all Russell Wilson's fault, bro, because the Broncos are another fucking team that has a shitty-ass offensive line. They have an amazing defense, but they have a shitty offensive line. And Nathaniel Hackett, he was calling some horrible plays this season. I guess he was the offensive coordinator and the head coach, some shit. But I think the Broncos are a head coach away from being an amazing team. I think they just need a really good head coach, experienced head coach. Like, bro, a head coach like John Gruden would be fucking perfect. But obviously he retired, or he left. I don't know, bro. But yeah, the Broncos are a head coach away from being a good team.
Let's ride. Broncos country.
But they were horrible this
In
season.
one of the biggest blockbuster trades in recent memory, Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick were traded from Seattle to Denver in exchange for multiple players,
Drew
2
Lock.
first-round picks, 2 second-round picks,
Shelby
and a
Harris,
5th-round
Noah
pick.
Fant.
This was a massive price to pay. And on top of that, Russell Wilson signed a 5-year, $245 million extension,
Bro.
which included $165 million of that guaranteed. But the price appeared to be
Nah, I
worth
think
it
they're
at
a
the
head
time.
coach away,
The
man.
Broncos Super Bowl window was now open.
Just wait
They
for
were
the
projected
process,
to win
Bronco
around
fans.
10 to 11 games in 2022. After producing the 3rd best defense in the NFL in 2021, Russ and company just had to be at least average.
Wilson throws off balance, picked off at the 4-yard line. Rodney Thomas has made a couple of really nice plays tonight.
It's hard to say that any fan base has been more disappointed in 2022 than the Denver Broncos. Their $245 million quarterback at this point has put up a worse QBR than Zach Wilson. And considering the fact that Russ was coming off of 5 Pro Bowl seasons in a row, it's hard to wrap my head around how things went downhill so quickly. They have been the only
Bro, I think-
offense worse than the Colts.
I
in
think they
terms
could
of
do
points
good if they
scored.
have a good
Just
head
to add
coach,
to the
man.
absurdity, if Denver had just scored
Nathaniel
7
Hackett, bro, you need to go back to being an offensive coordinator, dude. Like, obviously being a head coach was fucking retarded, man. Like, you need to go back to the Packers.
every game,
Yikes.
they'd currently be 8-7 and in the playoff hunt. You got players yelling at Russ, the backup quarterback getting shoved by linemen, head coach Nathaniel Hackett fired in his first season. It's a complete disaster. It appears that Wilson is cooked. He was a player whose elusiveness outside the pocket in his younger years made him a major weapon, but it also heavily aided his game. Now, in his mid-30s and a few steps slower, he doesn't appear to have that same magic. And standing at 5'11", he's not going to become a reliable pocket passer at this point in his career. The fact that the Seahawks moved on from Russ when they did and got all of those picks, it's potentially one of the greatest heists in sports history.
Could be
Seattle
another
is looking at a
fucking-
top 5 pick.
What's it
and an
called?
early
Great
second
train
round
robbery.
pick,
If
courtesy
you know,
of
you know, bro. Real football knowledge.
Denver. And I haven't even discussed the wildest part. Seattle has a better record than the Broncos. And of all
4-11.
Geno Smith, Wilson's backup in Seattle, is outperforming him. And it's not even close.
Sheesh.
Play action. Smith sets up at midfield. He wants the end zone. He wants Rocket, and he's again. This one, a 40-yard.
Y'all think the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs? It's between the Packers and the Seahawks now. And I think the Lions, or no. Whoever wins that, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, bro, I'm back on the grind. I think, yeah, bro, I'm back on the grind. But